Lucky Philip Dube, 3rd August 1964 to 18th October 2007, was a South African reggae musician and a Rastafarian. His record sales across the world earned him the Best-Selling African Musician Prize at the 1996 World Music Awards. In its lyrics, Dube discussed issues affecting South Africans and Africans in general to a global audience. He recorded 22 albums in a 25-year period and was Africa's best-selling reggae artist of all times. Dube was murdered in Johannesburg, suburb of Rosettenville, on the evening of 18th October 2007. Please, as we move on, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more. Thank you.
Its early life. Lucky Dube was born in Ermelo, Transvaal on 3rd August 1964. His parents separated before his birth and he was raised by his mother, who named him Lucky because she considered his birth fortunate after a number of failed pregnancies. Along with his two siblings, Tandy and Mandla, Dube spent much of his childhood with his grandmother Sarah, while his mother relocated to work. In a 1999 interview, he described his grandmother as his greatest love, who multiplied many things to bring up this responsible individual that I am today. His musical beginnings. Dube worked as a gardener in his younger days, but later decided to go to school in order to improve his economic prospects. There he joined the choir and with some friends formed a musical group, the Skyway Band. While at school, he discovered the Rastafari movement. At the age of 18, Dube joined his cousin's band, the Love Brothers, playing Zulu pop music known as Mbakwaga. The band signed with T Record Company and recorded the album Lucky Dube and the Super Soul, and Dube began to learn English. In 1986, together with his cousin Richard Silverman, Dube released the Afrikaans album Die Bakpise Dance, followed by the EP Help My Crap, the same year under the name Home Answer. On the release of his fifth album, Dave Segal, who became Dube's sound engineer, encouraged him to drop the Super Soul element of the name. All subsequent albums were recorded as Lucky Dube. Around this time, the singer noticed that the fans were responding positively to some reggae songs he played during concerts, drawing inspiration from Jimmy Cliff and Peter Tosh. He felt the socio-political messages associated with Jamaican reggae were relevant to a South African audience in an institutionally racist society. He decided to try the new musical genre and in 1984 released the mini album Rastas Never Die. The record sold poorly, around 4,000 units, in comparison to the 30,000 units his Mbakwaga records to sell. Keen to suppress anti-apartheid activity, the regime banned the album in 1985 because of its critical lyrics, such as in the song War and Crime. Dube was not discouraged, however, and continues to perform the reggae tracks and wrote and produced a reggae album, Think About the Children, in 1985. It achieved platinum sales status and established Dube as a popular reggae artist in South Africa, in addition to attracting attention outside his homeland. Dube continued to release commercially successful albums. In 1989, he won 4 OKTV awards for Prisoner, one for Captured Live the following year, and another 2 for House of Exile the year after. His 1993 album Victim sold over 1 million copies worldwide. And in 1995, he earned a worldwide recording contract with Motown. His 1995 album Trinity was the first release on Taboo Records after Motown's acquisition of the label. In 1996, he released a compilation of album Serious Reggae Business, which led him to being named the best-selling African recording artist at the World Music Awards and International Artist of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards. His next 3 records each won South African Music Award. His 2006 album Respect earned a European release through a deal with Warner Music. Dube toured internationally, sharing stages with artists such as Fine O'Connor, Peter Gabriel, and Sting. He appeared at the 1991 Reggae Splash on stage for 25-minute long encore, and in 1995 and 2005 Live 8 event in Johannesburg. Dube took reggae music and used it as a platform to promote racial equality within South Africa during apartheid. He used the musical genre to frame his arguments about colonialism and African slave trade, and how he felt that Africa should be reclaimed by the black race. On October 2007, Dube was killed by armed robbers in Rosentiville, a Johannesburg suburb, shortly after dropping off his 7 children off at their uncle's house. Dube was driving his Chrysler 300C, which the Icelanders were after. Police reports suggest he was shot dead by carjackers who did not recognize him. A state witness additionally claimed that he was targeted under the false notion that he was a Nigerian. 5 men were arrested in connection with the murder. 3 were tried and found guilty on March 2009. 2 of the men attempted to escape and were caught. 2 base convicted killers were sentenced to life imprisonment. His legacy. On 21st August 2008, Rico Diggs released a compilation album titled Retrospective, which featured many of Dube's most infectious songs as well as tracks previously not released in the United States. The album celebrated Dube's music and honored the contributions he made to South Africa. The Roots Reggae Library has taken steps to store digital versions of artist Mbagwakwa album in the 1980s. 5 of the 6 albums have been retrieved. As one of the first artists to bring African reggae to the mainstream, Dube bridged cultural gaps within the African diaspora, which his music did, and practice of cultural and visionary possibility. Dube gave Africa a voice and put his culture on the global stage by joining the global reggae. In Australia, Dube's music has found resonance in remote Aboriginal communities, and his popularity has led him to be called bigger than the Beatles through much of Central and Northern. The spokesman for Dube's Gallo Music label, Arnold Mabundagu, says Dube was one of the country's most successful musicians. He was one of the biggest contributors in South African music industry, and now we are saddened, said Mabundaga. South Africa has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with nearly 20,000 homicides last year. Many of the killings occurred during robberies and hijackings. These are common in a country where 1/2 of the population lives less than $2 per day.